when you die twice. Like first is when your breath leaving your body, and secondly it's when the other person say your name even though you are not there anymore in the world. This kind of design object, it doesn't matter how big it is, can be a car, it can be a spaceship. The root cause is to make a beautiful object, and it also to empower the people life by giving values in whatever we design. I spent my past 15 years in design industry. I used to be a car designer, and I spent a few years in industry designing cars for a few companies, and I spent a few years also in Europe, in Italy, doing design collaboration with Lamborghini. The root cause is to make a beautiful object, and it also to empower the people life by giving values in whatever we design. So for us, designing a watch is something that is very close to our heart, because people used to see times all the time. Just a little bit background on this company. We started in 2018. So those 1 year is just a work behind the scene. You know, like we never like tell people about it. We just work super hard. Like I think I remember like we work like more than 18 hours a day just to produce the e-commerce websites. Yeah. So the challenge is you have to know like both sides, and you have to experience all those things, getting the right exposure. Trying so many things. So we spent like a lot of years before, even though when I was working as a car designer, I spent years like understanding the product as simple as watches. So we went through a lot of like failures, you know, we have a lot of challenges. There's a lot of rejections. We exchange hundreds of emails with manufacturers, for example, because to build something, even though as small as watches, you need something really credible to produce it. Because at the end of the day, customer has to feel the value that what we sell to them, not just making as a business, but also it become part of their life. So giving the part of experience in terms of designs, it is very important for a longevity of any kind of business. We start having like recently the collaboration with the singer, artist, which is Dato' M. Nasir. He's also a painter actually before that, and he's still painting. And for that kind of like collaboration, we do two series, like signature series, which is we put the signature of the artist on top of that, and also some sort of art. The thing with collaboration with Nasir, it's again we are really fortunate because M. Nasir is a big name. He is a legend. You know, people call him Sifu. So when we had the collaboration to talk with their team and meet him in person, it was like a blessing, and we really appreciate those moments all around. So we do special edition for him. We wanted to leave a good legacy to the world. We wanted to help the world. We wanted to create more creative world, fun world, and that's why even for one of the M. Nasir watches, Gerbang, the painting, we donate some portion of the sales to Palestine. You know, because if you look at the watches M. Nasir painted, the inspiration came from Masjid Al-Aqsa, and we know we always must help more people, because the more you give, and I always believe that, and God has said that the more you give, the more we come back. That's a promise. We have here Zach is the co-founder also, and also the artistic director. She's the one who curated all the art. She's the one who talked and see all the work by the artists, onboard them. New young designer, Lim Xiaowei, she's a designer, part of R&D team. Now we are developing more products. So for 2020, we're going to, inshallah, launching a wall clock Artican design with using recycled materials.
In this phase, we want to encourage the young designer to be aware of the sustainable development goals, meaning all the environmental issues that relate with design and how these issues can be adapted in all the design process and create the awareness.
Young 3D artist, industry designer Farhan back there, he is very good in 3D modeling. He makes all our 3D modeling looks fantastic and sent to the manufacturers for the productions.
I start with modeling first, so basically we have to model every part of the watches. So we have needles inside, the side buttons and the leather straps. Once the whole thing has been composited and rendered, the image will look exactly like this. So this will be the scene that we will be using for animation or maybe poster.
Alif, which is our photographer, he is the man who photographed M. Nasir. We have also Firdaus, an award winner VFX artist. So he's helping us a lot in terms of producing videos, good quality one for our promotions. Why we started like Artwist.co actually is a mix of both. There are design and also there are art on top of it. So we wanted to make like all this kind of art travel the world. Actually, art is and Wiz is like we give the art a new twist. So rather than just a painting, we make a cool and premium products on top of whatever the artist. And the core actually is a collaborator. I think the most beautiful part is that when we got the first order, like someone special bought it and we do a really nice design for that. We make the packaging. We give the signature series to that. It was a beautiful moment, we won't forget that. And then we start getting order from Germany, we ship to New York, Tokyo, Moscow. So it starts compounding, the little effort turns to little results. As for me, this is not my first business. Okay, I do a lot of things. I sell a lot of things since I was a young kid. And I venture into many business as well. Little success story, I have a lot of also a few failure stories. For me, it teach me a lot in terms of when you want to start a business. It's not about just making money. It is more on how much value you want to give to the world. Because when you give value to the world, and that's how much value you will get back. Find the big why you want to start it. If you think like you want to start a business because you want to buy Ferrari or Lamborghini, then it's gonna stay that long because you will lose motivation. Motivation is something you can feed and it can go away. But finding true purpose of our presence in the world is the most important. In doing business 21st century, you have to be smart, you know. Like if you know like the success story of like, you know, Asia for example. I think Tony Fernandez is a very brilliant businessman, but he's not a pilot, for example. And the beauty of the collaboration is that if you don't know something, you can always collaborate with people who know best. Yeah, we know a little bit of the watches, technical and stuff, open and stuff, but we always have to believe in people who has the more expertise. Doing a business again, I think for the young entrepreneur who wants to start, you always have to be in state of calmness, nothing to rush. Follow your strategy, you know, don't compete with others because once you start to compete, others will always go forward and you will start lagging behind. And that's what we see in the world, people get depressed. People say intervention is not for them, but we do believe is that in creating values, giving impacts, and leaving a really good legacy after we are not here anymore.